So happy that you're here tonight. We're going to continue on with our Thoughtful Wishes bundle featured this week. For some reason, my voice is all messed up and I forgot to grab any water. Okay, well, hopefully I won't start coughing because that would be bad. Okay, so let's see if we can get to your comments and see who's on. And let's go ahead. Okay, great. Now just give me the chat so I can see the chat. Okay. All right. I have such a hard time with YouTube figuring out how to get to the chat for myself. It's not a problem when I'm doing it. Okay, let's go here, view. Okay. This would work the same way every week. I'd be in good shape. Hang on, still trying to get to your chat. Let's see. Come on, give me the chat. Watching now. I do not see, and every week it seems to be different. All right, videos about. Oh, you guys, I cannot see the chat. Well, I am just going to go ahead and get started. I have no idea who's on. Sorry, guys. For some reason, YouTube on my second device is not allowing me to get into the chat. I see there are 3 on, but it still is not allowing me to get into the chat. Oh, come on. Oh, it's frustrating. Okay, well, I don't know what to do because I don't know how to get that. There it goes, finally. Come on. Jeez. I don't even know what I did, you guys. I just kept. Hello, Hilda Masai. I'm guessing that you're new to my channel. Welcome. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Laura. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So sorry that took so long to figure out how to get to the chat, which I still didn't figure out how to get there. It just suddenly popped in there. Okay, so thoughtful wishes. And we are going to make a card. So let's get right at it. This is a bundle that is in the 2024 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. And this card is pretty simple. We're going to start with a basic white card base. I have a piece of the Unbounded. Let me grab that. I don't know why I didn't pull that out. Unbounded Love DSP. Okay, I'm not sure where that's at. The rest of it. Oh, you guys. There, it's hiding. There it is, hide it. Unbounded Beauty. Oh my goodness. Right up front, but it was hiding. Hiding in plain sight. Okay, so these are the patterns from the Unbounded Beauty, and this features some of the new, is it some of or all of? Let's see. Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Pretty Peacock, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. Those are the colors that are in this packet of paper. So we're going to be using this pattern, and this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And we're going to add to that a 1 3/8. Don't ask me why I went 1 3/8. I just did. By 5 1/4 inch piece of Petunia Pop. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to my Designer Series paper. And hang on, the glass mat that you see here is available to everyone right now in the online exclusive section. And look how easily my adhesive just wiped right off of there with a chamois cloth. So I'm just going to place this in the corner here of my Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to run it through the cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to use the Dashing Designs folder. This is what it looks like. A pretty big shadow I need to get rid of. Okay, let's see if that'll work. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to line it up with the line on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo so that my pattern is straight. Then I'm going to close the folder. And we're going to bring in the cut and emboss machine. We've got plate 1, the folder and Designer Series paper along with plate 4. This machine comes with all the plates you need. And so we're just going to roll that through. Okay. And then we have this. Okay, and by adding this before I embossed, my embossing lines up perfectly. So we've got that. Now let's go ahead and fold this card base. This is basic white thick, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the center at 4 1/4. Okay, before we add this to our card, we're going to take the large check ribbon and we're going to tie this on here. Give this a little ribbon treatment. The really nice thing about this ribbon is you can color it so that it can match all of your projects. But I chose to just leave it. This is actually black and very vanilla. Okay, so we're just gonna straighten this out. Tighten that up just a bit. Bring those tails down. I'm holding the center as I pull. Normally I don't like this much waste. We're going to leave that like it is. I'm going to trim this off. And I'm going to trim this one. Okay, so there's our ribbon treatment. So we're going to go ahead and set these two pieces aside now because I want to make sure that when I put that down, it's right where I want it to be. Okay, so let's we've got a piece of peach pie. And I need a scrap of basic white. And I'm going to cut this down so that I can run this through my mini cut and emboss machine. And it needs to be less than 3.5. So I'm going to cut this at 3.25 because that will fit my purpose. Okay. And then we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to grab my Spotlight on Nature dies. We're using these as well. Okay, but let's go ahead and stamp before we cut. So we're going to take the poppy stamp from the Thoughtful Wishes. And we're going to stamp that in black. And I'm going to stamp it twice. And I didn't want to overlap that so much. Let's try that again. Let's go this way. I think it'll be easier for me. And hopefully I left myself enough room there. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, so then we're going to take pecan pie. And this stamp, Spotty Dotty stamp, is also in this set. And I am just going to give this the appearance of some ground. And I'm just turning my stamp every which way. Okay. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Blends. We've got Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Summer Splash. Let's move this out of the way for the moment. Okay. Turn these around so you can actually read them. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's start with the dark Summer Splash. I'm just trying to, that looks pretty. Thank you, Tracy. I really liked how the embossing added such a small amount of detail without any effort. So I'm just putting a little bit of Summer Splash at the base of the leaves. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go from the tip of the leaf down to the dark and overlap that just to blend it in. Okay, by doing it this way, I find it's easier for me to stay in the lines at the tip of the leaves when they're so thin. Okay, so we'll just basically just running my blend down to meet that darker color. Okay, so then we're going to go with light and dark peach pie, and we're going to start with the dark. I'm just going to alternate these. Okay. And again, I'm just going to go back and add that light peach pie down into the dark. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that process with the petunia, but we need to start with the dark. Okay, and then just going to add that light in and overlap the dark to blend. Okay, so we've got that. And we can set those aside, and we're going to run these through the cut and emboss machine. So we're going to take the second to the largest of the, I don't want this one. I want the largest one. Ooh, is that going to work? No. Oh my gosh, I got myself so confused. I want this one here and this one here. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our mini. My hands were doing one thing and my brain was telling me something totally different. Oh, good grief. Okay. So I'm just going to take and center this over my design. Put my top plate on. And we'll run that through. And that will give us this piece with the radiating stitches. And then we're going to take our peach pie. This is a 3.25 by 3.5 inch square. Will just fit on the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And then I'll put my top plate on and I'll run that on through. And I'm going to go back just because this is a pretty detailed die around the edges. Okay. And there's what we have. Okay. So let's set our plates aside. We can bring this in. It's going to go right in here like this. So let's go ahead and attach that. Okay, and center that in. And then I'm going to take some Wink of Stella, because what card doesn't need Wink of Stella? And you probably can't see that glimmer and shine. but it is there. Just a little added touch. Okay, and then this, I can see we need to, I've got my ribbon treatment on and I need to move it over, so I'm just gonna gently bend my card in without creasing. I just want to lift up the edges. Got to be super careful when you're working with the DSP. Okay, and I like where that's going to go, so we can go ahead now and add this to our card. Oh, let me fix this. Did you see that on the back? I did not keep my ribbon flat. So need to make sure that that's flat on the back. So that it will lay nicely. Okay, now my fat finger doesn't want to work. So a loop, scoop, tuck, and pull. And now I have to be very careful because I've already cut my ends. All right. There we are. And that's going to sit right where I want it now. Let's make sure that I don't need to move it up or down. Nope, we're good. Okay. I'm going to use some Tombow liquid glue. It's my glue of choice, my adhesive of choice when I use a 3D embossing folder. Okay, and we're just going to stick this down on our card with a nice even border. Make sure it's all nice and straight. Okay, and then I like to take and open these up and grab my bone folder and give that a good press. Which is not as easy as it looks with the ribbon treatment on it, but there we go. That helps you to get your embossed cardstock to really lay down flat. Okay, now we're going to take this. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So I'm going to straddle my ribbon. So I'm going to make sure I put those at the top and the bottom. And then if I put that right there, I can still put one in the middle, toward a little more toward the top than the bottom. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring that down just a bit. Okay, now we need our sentiment, and for that, I had a piece of paper cut and ready to go. I'm not sure where that 1/2 inch strip got to. Sure not seeing it now though. Okay, let's grab a 1/2 inch strip of script. Let's see, is this 1/2 inch? It's about 5/8. Don't really want 5/8. Okay. Let's take course, when you want a 1/2 inch strip, you can't find. There we. Is that right? 1/2 inch? Yep. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. And it's not quite the right size. This is not quite 1/2 inch. Okay, hang on, you guys. This will just work better if I have a 1/2 inch strip, and I'm going to make a 1/2 inch strip because I don't know where my 1/2 inch strip ran off to that I had ready to go. So we're just going to put this in, put in a 1/2 inch strip. I want this to be 2 1/4, I think. Okay, put that one up there just in case we mess this one up. Okay, so I've got this one. Let's go ahead. It should fit right in the channel. And of course it doesn't want to either. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we'll give that a punch. And then I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to do the other end. If I can get it to go down in there. What is holding this up? Come on. Man, I'm a struggling tonight. I'm a hot mess, you guys. This is not wanting to go in there. There we go. Now, it's a little on the short side, so I'm going to guide this so that it looks even, and then give it a punch. Okay. And then we have this. Okay, let's go ahead and put our thanks on here. And let's hope I don't mess this up. I should have put this on the, you know what? I think I'm going to grab my mini Misty here. I'm going to make life easier for myself. I'm going to put this down. Like so. Then I'm going to take my stamp because I don't want to redo this. I'm going to put a little grid right over the top of that, which I should have done before. Okay, then I can check this out. Make sure it's going to stamp straight before I commit. Okay, let's get that black ink. I'm going to stamp that down there. That looks pretty good. So now I'll remove my little grid. Ink this up again. Stamp that down. Okay, so there's our sentiment strip. Oh, come on. All right. Put my sticky mat away. And I'll clean that later because it's plastic. That'll just wipe right off. Okay, now we can go ahead and put some Stampin' Dimensionals on here. I've got some edges I need to use up. So let's go ahead and just cut some of these and use up our edge pieces. Let's add this to our card right up here, like so. And for the inside piece, I've already stamped the I appreciate you sentiment. While we've got this out, we're going to take I was going to do this when I stamped my other piece and I forgot and I just bumped the camera, so sorry about that. We'll put some poppies here, and I've got a piece of that designer series paper. I'm going to lay that down here, and I'm going to stamp that right there. And then we'll quickly color these. Okay. Just going to take the little brush tip, just brush on a little bit of dark. Doing this backwards from what I did the outside. Okay, now let's grab a little protector for the inside of our envelope. And let's go ahead and do that, just so that everything coordinates. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to take the dark petunia pop. And finish that up with the light. And then on the inside, I'm going to use the peach pie. Okay. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah. Sometimes it just goes that way. Okay, now you could use either of these, but I'm going to go ahead and use this same pattern that we used before. And I'm actually going to run my adhesive right along the bottom of my inside layer, because my piece is just a little bit longer, and then I don't have to worry about it having glue and getting sticky on my scissors. So we're just going to cut that off. Add this to the inside of my card. And you could have done this right on the inside, being this is a white card base, but I like to do it this way and then just put one strip of adhesive at the top so that someone could pull this out, stamp a new inside, and repurpose it. Okay. Oh, let's get this out of here. And there is our card for tonight. Another idea for the Thoughtful Wishes bundle, now available in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks, Laura. I appreciate that. Tracy, I appreciate that. If you like what you saw, go ahead and like my video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. And I will be back again next Thursday night at 7 p.m. with another Thursday Night Live. Thank you so much. Good night.